All right. Welcome to the July 23rd meeting of the City Council. Please rise for a moment of reflection and remain standing for the flag salute.
Yes, please join me in a moment of reflection. We come together tonight to say thank you. Thank you for the privilege, the blessing, the honor it is to serve here in the city of Escondido. We come together tonight as a diverse community, a community of different backgrounds, different beliefs, different presents, and different futures, yet one common goal, that is the betterment of this city. We come together tonight to seek guidance, wisdom, and discernment during deliberations that transpire this evening, and in doing so, we lift up Councilmember Fitzgerald, Councilmember Joe Garcia, Councilmember Christian Garcia, and Deputy Mayor Martinez. May they be granted peace and wisdom as they lead our city into a bright and prosperous future. Amen.
Thank you so much. I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Let's start with a roll call. Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Present.
Councilmember Christian Garcia.
Here.
Councilmember Joe Garcia.
Here.
Okay, and I am Deputy Mayor Consuelo Martinez. I am present, and Mayor Ding White is absent today. Our presentation on Sci-Fi Fiber City project update has been postponed to our August 13th meeting. Next on the agenda is our closed session report. City Attorney, is there anything to report out for closed session?
No public report.
Okay, great. Then next we'll go to oral communications. And I just want to welcome everyone to tonight's City Council meeting. For those who may be attending a meeting like this for the very first time, I'd like to take a moment to explain how public comment works in this local government setting. There are two opportunities for the public to speak on items not listed on today's agenda. These are called oral communications or non-agendized public comment. These take place at the beginning and the end of our meeting. If you would like to speak during either of those periods, please fill out the yellow speaker slip available at the entrance here and submit to our city clerk, Mr. Zach Beck, at any time during the meeting. If you would like to speak on a specific item on today's agenda, please submit your speaker slip before that item is called. You will be invited to speak when we reach that point in the meeting. Thank you again for being here and taking part of your local government. So with that, City Clerk, do we have any oral communications today?
Yes, we do, Honorable Deputy Mayor. Our first speaker is Stephen Wheeler.
Test 1, 2. I am Stephen Wheeler, a District 3 city resident. Honorable civil servants, I return today to offer how last week's oral communications appeared to this constituent from the third row of this city's space. The majority of this body got your gluteus maximus kicked, though I would not be surprised if you didn't even recognize it, and I propose I may know why, which I will summarize in my closing. Last week I saw 3 speakers plead for your cessation of policies and associations which support fear and cruelty in our community. I heard silence in response. I saw twice you may have violated oral communications protocol precluding comment when you offered a future agenda item addition to one commenter and requested the contact information of another. It begs the question for me, how can I get my request to be offered similar noncompliance as my request for an agenda item addition has gone unanswered for 9 months? My take home from last week? You, the majority, who I think we're focused on last week, are ideologues with underdeveloped listening skills that, and here's my point, you just don't care. Stop kidding yourselves if you think otherwise. Your silence and your involuntary body language last week reeked of it. You seem to be followers rather than leaders we should expect. Please give me reason to think otherwise. This is my second ask. Please give me cause to have faith in my government. Also, my second ask. The option is to continue to ignore me, which I full well expect to occur. As I've concluded, the majority of this council just don't care. I'm disappointed that the mayor wasn't with us today, so I'm going to have to change up my read. But I hope, because this was a message I wanted to deliver to our highest government leader, if this council can communicate this to him. Otherwise, I'll look forward to the day I'll come back and see him eye to eye. But I want it be known that my honorable mayor I previously expressed to this council in writing that he lied to me and played me for a fool, and to date he has offered me nothing in response. Please inform me how this represents leadership. To some, it might appear cowardice. Councilmember Christian Garcia, as your constituent, I express my loss of faith in our local government, sir, and you offered me nothing in return? That is what I expect from a follower.
And Mr.
This
Will,
is
your
not
time has
about
expired.
ideology. It's about a government that cares. Thank you. I'm looking forward to how last week's public commenters are captured in the minutes. With respect, thank you.
Our next speaker is Melinda Ross Santa Cruz.
For the record, my name is Melinda Ross-Santa Cruz. I had the pleasure of speaking to some very nice officers with the Escondido Police Department the other day. They seem to think that the answer to the ongoing problem with homeless addicts is that our state laws, particularly the ones that turn felonies into misdemeanors, need to be changed. They do not see the addicts as people who need to be coddled with treatment and compassion, but as criminals with warrants for offenses such as drugs, trespassing, or worse. Regarding the Harmony Grove encampment under the bridge on Citricado Parkway, one officer said he would cut all the vegetation himself if he could. People are hiding down there, sometimes in groups. They show up at about 7 o'clock at night. Not only are these people offenders, but some are gang members. Do the gang members even have legal status to be in the country? If we didn't have SB 54 in place, we'd find out. This particular officer knows about the problem with Giardia that contaminated the water last year and doesn't wear his shoes at home. He leaves them in the garage when he gets home. The officers also tell me that the offenders get money from the nonprofits. I believe it because I live near a storage facility and see people come into the neighborhood on foot and then go in and out of there. How does a young person without a job pay $200 per month on up for a storage shed? The enabling of these criminals has got to stop. We can't save the state on our own, but we can make Escondido the place where drug criminals don't want to be. The place for these offenders is not Escondido. They are starting fires near people's homes, and we can't get homeowners insurance because we're in a fire zone. I support Sheriff Chad Bianco for governor to solve this problem once and for all. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is Courtney Cabral.
Hi, good evening, Deputy Mayor and council members. My name is Courtney Cabral. I am the president of the board of the Escondido History Center. Last week, I voiced our concern regarding the Grape Day Park Master Project and how it affected the Grape Day Festival this year. Shortly after I spoke, Joseph Goulart, approached us and offered to help. Within a week, he answered all of our questions, and I just wanted to publicly thank the Director of Public Works, Joseph Collot, and every one of you for your ongoing support of the Escondido History Center. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Greg Oliver.
Good evening, Deputy Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is Greg Oliver. A great many Escondido citizens have been deeply alarmed by the recent federal actions taken against their family members, co-workers, friends, and neighbors. This profound concern has consumed our community, and we know the Council has felt it well. A group of us, the Escondido Neighbors for Solutions, were moved to action by Councilman Christian Garcia's Facebook message. He indicated that the council and the mayor also recognized the deepening distress in our community and sought holistic, clear, and just policies to protect Escondido's significant Hispanic population, which comprises over 50% of our city's residents. Our group sought precisely those kinds of policies to counter the chaotic and at times unjust tactics the councilman described. We extensively researched solutions and resolutions implemented in other California communities, notably Huntington Park and Pasadena. These initiatives aim to preserve the fundamental American values of the rule of law, due process, community stability and prosperity, fiscal responsibility, and transparency and accountability in federal enforcement here in Escondido. The title of the resolution is A Resolution of the City Council of the City of Escondido, affirming its status as a welcoming city and committing to the protection of due process, constitutional rights, and the dignity of all people, regardless of immigration status. It is the intent of the Escondido neighbors to lighten the load and help expedite a meaningful solution by submitting a draft resolution today. It is our sincere hope that this document will shorten the distance between our current chaos and a much-needed restoration of harmony and justice in our town. We urge you to begin your review of this draft as soon as possible and include the discussion and the vote for the resolution on the agenda for August 13th or sooner. I'm going to leave copies with Zach. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Lisa Richards.
Hello, Deputy Mayor, council members. My name is Lisa Richards. I've lived in Escondido for over 30 years. The councilman's message about needing holistic, clear, and just policies resonated deeply. The draft resolution provides a framework for exactly that. It's a proactive step to address a pressing issue, showing leadership and responsiveness to community needs.
Ms. Richards, could you please speak closer to the mic? Some
I'm
people
sorry.
can't hear in the back.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Should I re-speak? Okay.
Sure.
Let's start that over. My name is still Lisa Richards. The councilman's message about needing holistic, clear, and just policies resonated deeply. This draft resolution provides a framework for exactly that. It's a proactive step to address a pressing issue, showing leadership and responsiveness to community needs. Our community is watching closely how the council responds to this urgent matter. Passing this resolution is an act of courageous leadership that will define your commitment to Escondido's fundamental values. Your swift, decisive action will offer hope and stability to thousands. Please adopt this comprehensive approach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Laura Hunter.
Good afternoon. My name is Laura Hunter, and I'm here tonight to urge you to schedule the Escondido Neighbors for Solutions resolution on the next agenda. We need the council to step up and set the rules and the tone for how you expect federal immigration personnel to operate in our city. The agencies and the leadership need to hear this from you, and the residents need to hear from you that you have their back, and you are going to stand up to ensure that they are fairly treated, respectfully treated to the extent of your ability. Every day, the stories get worse and worse. You've got masked, unidentified, excessively violent federal agencies denying people due process. The stories are just horrific. And the fear that it is bringing into our communities is unthinkable, and it's untenable. This should not be the kinds of country that we're endorsing. If we have criminals, we have police that are very good at catching them. But if federal activities scare everybody, undermine that trust, make it harder for the police to do their job, then we're all less safe. We cannot undermine that trust in our police, and we cannot allow them to be misused in any way. The problem is Donald Trump and Stephen Miller are pushing this force and these activities into hyperdrive with astronomical and I would say obscene funding levels of increases in funding. And so we can count on so much worse is coming, and we have to prepare. Now is the right time to set the expectations of the city so you are very clear in what you expect to see within your boundaries regarding how they should operate. We hope you will schedule this resolution for a vote at your next opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Maria Wallace.
Good evening, council members. My name is Maria Wallace, and I am a longtime resident of Escondido. It is not a crime to work hard and want a better life for yourself or your family. According to the San Diego Union Tribune, from January to June 10 of this year, ICE San Diego FIO made 1,042 arrests, compared to 602 last year and 191 in 2023. Escondido ranks as the third highest municipality in San Diego County with 24 detentions, and there has been more since this data came out. Also, 53% of administrative ICE arrests locally have been of people with no criminal charges or convictions. In addition, local data shows that Mexican nationals account for 65% of local ICE arrests this year. Immigrants contribute to our economy and help their families. Immigrants pay taxes, and their children are probably friends with your children. They're probably part of your congregation, and they're probably part of your classroom. They probably take care of your children the same way I did when I first came to this country. Council members, immigrants are your constituents, okay? Thank you. Thank you.
No further non-agenda public comments.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So next, I'll move to the consent calendar. Mr. Beck, do we have any items that have been pulled from the consent calendar?
No items have been pulled.
Okay, so with that, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar, and that's items number 1 through 12.
I'll motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Okay, thank you, Councilmember Christian Garcia, second. Let's go ahead and vote.
Voting is open. Motion approved, 4-0.
Thank you. Okay, next we'll go on to current business. We're at item number 13, award a construction grant for the splash pad at Grove Park project and authorize staff to process change order. Go ahead and
Good
take it away.
evening, Deputy Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is Ed Vasquez, Project Manager for Public Works Department. I'm here tonight to review the splash pad project at Grove Park, along with staff members that can provide updates in their respective areas and answer any questions you may have. Tonight's presentation will include an overview of the splash pad project, including a recommendation for council action, approval of public improvement agreement, project history, final design selection, specific area construction, construction impact, communication plan, parking plan, bid results, council action for this item. In January 2024, the budget for the splash pad was created with an initial budget of $2.5 million using FY 2023 general fund surplus. Additional funding of $700,000 was allocated in June 2026 through the FY 2026 capital improvement budget. In February 2024, an amendment to the LPA consulting agreement was executed for the design of the city's first splash pad at Grove Park. Staff held a community meeting and opened an online survey where the community selected a theme and design elements of the new splash pad. Over the next year, LPA completed the final design and subsequently the project was placed out to bid in April 2025. In June of 2024, the community was invited to participate in an online vote to select the theme of the splash pad. The theme choices were offered and we had 2,069 online responses. In June 2025, in response to the request for proposal, 7 sealed bids for the splash pad construction project were received. We are here tonight seeking council approval to award the construction contract. If approved, the anticipated start of the construction for the splash pad would be in mid-September. On the next few slides, we'll give an overview of the splash pad project at Grove Park and why this site was selected. For situational awareness, here's an aerial view of Grove Park showing the proximity to Area Elementary School adjacent to the park. You can see Mission Middle School to the south, Farr Elementary to the north, and Pioneer Elementary to the northeast. The furthest school from Grove Park is Farr Elementary, which is about 2/3 of a mile away. In this slide, you can see an existing and proposed facilities at Grove Park. The park provides walking trails, picnic areas, lawn areas, playgrounds for children 2 to 5, 5 to 12, a basketball court, and restrooms. In the middle, noted in the purple or oval shape, you can see the location of the proposed splash pad, along with the new shade structure and new picnic areas. The area of the triangle denotes where the existing restrooms are in relation to the new splash pad. A splash pad is an aquatics facility that has similar requirements as building a pool. The location of the existing restroom facility played a key role in selecting this location. The existing restrooms provide access points to sewer, water, and electrical connections. The restroom is also within the required distance to provide service to the splash pad and provide the necessary occupancy requirements with little or no improvement required. For these reasons, Grove Park was selected for the city's first splash pad. This slide provides a more detailed plan for the future splash pad amenities. The splash pad location and the new picnic areas are located within the big oval to the left. This area provides shade and seating where parkgoers can keep an eye on children from a close proximity to the water features. The area to the right in the smaller oval will be reconfigured for the splash pad mechanical equipment, improvements to the existing ADA ramp, and the creation of a driveway access to the aquatic equipment area. This slide provides an overview of the picnic areas and shade structure being installed with the project. In addition to the main shade structure seen on the right, there are 2 additional small shade cells displayed in the left rendering by the ovals, being installed at each end of the splash pad that will provide additional seating and shade for parkgoers. Additional seating with tables are being installed, including an accessible option noted to the right. On the next few slides, we'll review the community-selected theme water feature designs incorporated into the splash pad. Please note that the picnic area, shade cells, and seating previously discussed are not shown on the next few slides. Only the elements of the splash pad are featured. On this slide, you can see the defined spaces on the left of the image, the defined spaces. On the left of the image, you can see water features that are easily accessible for younger or taller age groups. On the right, you'll see a play area where all ages and abilities can participate, including accessible features as noted by the rendering of the spiral tunnel. Here's another view of the water features. Overall view of the splash pad. In this final slide, you can see the big water feature or sky soaker that is automatically activated and periodically discharges a large amount of water over the play area below. It's good to know that the water does not come down in a concentrated manner, but instead scatters like a heavy rain. This slide provides an aerial overview of the park, with the heavy red line being identified as an area of construction and the biggest impact to the park. This area of the park will be closed for a period of 6 months. Please note, the parking lot closure is included in this section. Parking lot closure is intended to provide construction crews an area for staging equipment and materials. Additionally, there is an existing sewer and storm drain line that runs through the parking lot, where the necessary connections will be made to serve the splash pad. The sewer line can be seen by the solid black line, and the storm drain can be seen by the dashed black line. During construction, the restrooms and parking lot would not be accessible for public use. Once the restroom facilities are closed, portable restrooms for public use will be placed and serviced on a regular basis. However, playgrounds, walking paths, basketball court, and open space will remain open to the public, with some impact to open space directly adjacent to the new splash pad. Construction timeline. Here's the construction timeline for the splash pad project. If approved tonight, the construction is expected to start in mid-September and continue through March 2026. Barring unforeseen delays, we anticipate a grand opening in spring of 2026. Communication plan. In anticipation of the construction of the splash pad, staff created a communication plan that will be implemented over the next couple of weeks. The communication plan includes advanced notices of park closures and construction information. Notices will be posted and distributed through the social media on city website, as well as signs posted at the park. A QR code has been developed for the splash pad project. This QR code will direct residents to the city website for project information and project updates. Parking plan. With the anticipated closure of the parking lot at Grove Park during construction, staff are developing a parking plan. This plan includes encouraging neighboring residents to walk to Grove Park. Staff are having conversations with the elementary school district for potential parking at nearby schools when school is not in session. Bid results. Now that we've reviewed the project history, elements, and construction timeline, I would like to review the bids that were submitted for the construction of the splash pad. On April 30th, 2025, a notice inviting bids for the installation of splash pad at Grove Park was duly published. On June 5th, 2025, 7 sealed bids were opened in response to the advertised requests. Western State Builders, Inc. was determined to be the lowest, most responsive, and responsible bid received for construction of this project. Staff recommends that City Council approve Resolution 2025-95, authorizing the mayor to execute a public improvement agreement with Western State Builders, Inc. in the amount of $2,356,264 for the construction of the splash pad at Grove Park. Thank you for your consideration. Staff are here to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Vasquez. City Clerk, do we have any public comments on this item?
None.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and move to council discussion. Do any of my colleagues want to start? Any comments or questions?
I don't have any questions. I do have a comment. I did attend when there was a reveal as far as what it was going to look like, and I think that it is a perfect location, the walkability for the neighborhoods there. I like how the 3 schools are also in close proximity to the park, and it was just very well thought out and job well done by everybody. So thank you. And it's in your district, so I'm a little jealous.
All right, so it's great, all the work that has been put in and getting input from the community is awesome. The renderings, I'm really looking forward that it will not only look like it, but it'll be better. I've been to other splash pads, and this one is supreme. I'm really excited to see that. One of the questions that I usually ask will be about the communication. Will this be done also in Spanish?
Yes, it's my understanding it will be both in English and Spanish.
Okay, wonderful. And I know this is not a pool, but because there's water involved, small children, and some of the feature where there's gonna, I don't know how much water would be falling on someone, but does this in any way require some kind of a lifeguard or supervision, safety supervision, anything like that?
You're right, it is considered similar to a pool. It's built in the same manner, but a lifeguard is not required because there is no ponding water or there is no water with any depth to it. It's all superficial water being sprayed up or
Okay.
down.
So there's no requirement?
There's no requirement for a lifeguard.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
You know,
Councilmember Garcia, do you have any comments or questions? Okay. Well, thank you for the presentation. I'm very excited about the splash pad. It's been a long time coming. It'll be our first one, and I am very excited, Councilmember Fitzgerald, that it will be in my district. I think it's a great central location. And similar to what my colleague, Councilmember Garcia was asking, one of the requirements for splash pads, because they are treated like pools as far as the approval goes and the rules that the regulations is that they have to be attached, well, close by to a bathroom facility. So that really limits our options for splash pads. Otherwise, we probably would have more. But hopefully we will have more. And my one question is, over 2,000 votes is amazing that our community was so excited about this and so many people participated in providing feedback. Do you by chance have a photo of the design that won? I know that you showed it there, but anything that you could share, or if not in the slides, it would be wonderful because it was like a theme, right? Like colorful theme, and I think like an agriculture theme. It would be nice in the communications plan to share, this is what you all voted on, this is what won, and this is the timeline, to incorporate it in the communication. I'm looking at our communications director. So that would be wonderful. Do you want to comment, Teresa?
Thank you for the question. For the record, my name is Teresa Collins, and I'm the Assistant Director of Communications here. Yes, this is the theme that won. It was the Playful Colors theme. And, excuse me, and the renderings will be shared on the website. They won't be on the on-site signage per se because they don't scale really well, especially because, can you go to the next slide, please, Ed? Like you kind of see this large scale because we have two different, the toddler or littler kid side and the access for everyone side. So we will have the QR code. The signs on site will be in English and Spanish, and everyone can see these renderings for themselves.
Great, thank you. All right, and then let's see here. Yes, and then can we go to the slide that shows the purple dotted lines? It was around, I think, the shade sales. It was a little earlier in the presentation. Before that. There we go. So the purple dotted lines here, is that going to be later, beyond the timeline that was shared? Is that an amenity that's coming later? Is that why those are?
No, that was just defined as part of an exhibit. That was a bid alternate item that is being included in part of this construction project,
Okay.
same time frame.
Oh, great, okay.
Yes.
And then I'm happy that you all have already, I don't know if you've already reached out or you're planning to reach out to the school district about the parking, because it is already a small parking lot at Grove Park, and having that parking lot completely shut down, including the gazebo, right? The gazebo will be closed? It looked like it was in part of that red boundary?
It will be impacted, yes, it will
Okay.
be closed.
Yeah, so I think having the schools like Mission Middle and Pioneer so close from walking distance, and I know they have safe crossing walks there. I love that we're exploring that because people will complain about the parking. And but I'm really excited about this. Thank you for all your work on this, and I'm excited to talk to Teresa and help in any way about getting the messaging out for this. And with that, I will turn it over to my colleague, Christian Garcia.
All right. Thank you so much. I do appreciate the presentation. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the work that the entire staff has put into this. I really do admire everything that you've done. I do have a couple questions and a couple comments. So one of the questions that has been proposed to me from the community, one of the concerns is they have a concern of homeless use or general misuse by, people who might want to misuse it for whatever reason. What measures are we going to be implementing in order to ensure that that doesn't happen, or at least to mitigate it?
So I can speak a little bit to the measures the equipment has. It will be timed equipment that's operational from a certain time to a certain time. So even the splash pad portion or the shower portions are going to be activated by a push button that has a timer on it that after a certain time it won't work anymore. I believe additional efforts might be taken, and maybe Joe could speak to that with the park rangers.
So yeah, for the record, my name is Joe Gillard, Director of Public Works. Councilmember Garcia, luckily with Measure I, we're going to be adding more additional resources through park rangers. And so we'll be doing more patrols at all of our parks, and more importantly at Grove Park. So hopefully we'll have these staff onboarded by the time that the construction's done, and we'll have a lot more oversight at all of our parks, including this park as well.
Okay, thank you. And that was my understanding. I just wanted the public to understand that as well. The other thing is, can we explain the difference between the summer hours and the non-summer hours? I know that there's some differences there, and I think a big part of that is because of school hours. And then, speaking of school, can we also explain how the parking is going to be, how we're going to accommodate for parking during the school and non-school months? Thank you.
The hours?
So the hours of use have not been defined. We're still working that out. We've looked at other cities that have splash pads, and there's temperature thresholds that they have to where, you know, above a certain degree, the splash pad is operational, and we haven't defined that yet. When we define that, we will bring that to the city manager and just distribute that, you know, through you guys. The parking situation, we are actively speaking with the school district. I don't want to allude to what, you know, we've kind of talked about, but it's looking very favorable that we'd be able to use Pioneer potentially. But I don't want to make too much leading comments into that because we're not fully through in the discussions yet.
All right. Those were all my questions. Just the other comments, this is very exciting. I do appreciate the location. I think it's a good walking distance from people who may not have access to, let's say, the pools, the private pools, or may not have access to necessarily be able to drive somewhere like the beach or something. So I think this is a great location. I think this is really exciting. I wish it had happened sooner, but I understand. It's still very exciting. So thank you all. Thank you, everybody, for the hard work, and thank you for the participation in the community for answering the surveys.
Great, thank you so much. I will go ahead and move to approve item number 13. May I get a second? Okay, Councilmember Joe Garcia, second. Okay, let's vote.
Voting is open. Motion approved, 4-0.
Thank you. Item 14, entering into a lease between the City of Escondido and the Vine Institute for the creation and operation of the Escondido Ag Tech Regional Innovation Hub.
Good evening, Deputy Mayor and City Council members. My name is Jennifer Shenek, your Director of Economic Development, and I'm joined this evening by my colleague Pedro Cardenas, Management Analyst, and also two individuals representing the Vine Institute and UCANR, Lon Hatamia, the President of the Vine Institute, and Gabe Yahtzee, the Chief Innovation Officer of the University of California Agriculture and Natural Resources. We are here tonight to present the final council action items needed to transform a blighted city-owned building that has been vacant for over 10 years into a community asset that will offer physical space and education opportunities for entrepreneurs to grow agriculture and ag tech businesses and high-wage jobs in Escondido. In this evening's presentation, we will review the Escondido AgX initiative. We will review the council action to date and council action items for consideration this evening, which include a lease agreement between the City of Escondido and the Vine Institute at 455 North Quint Street, and also a public service agreement between the City of Escondido and the Vine Institute. And then Gabe and Lon will review the Vine Institute activation plan. Escondido AgX is a City of Escondido-led initiative to partner with local, regional, state, and federal organizations to promote innovation in the agriculture technology industries to support local farmers and food systems. This initiative is part of the 2023 City Council adopted Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy to attract and retain agriculture and ag tech companies to the city with the goal of creating more high-wage jobs. Community activities to date include 2 Escondido AgX hackathons, a 3-day event where multidisciplinary teams are formed, and with the help of mentors and customer validation sessions, create business plans, as well as 6 Escondido AgX quarterly events to encourage farmers, scientists, investors, and entrepreneurs to support the ag tech startup community. These events attracted more than 300 local and regional participants. The city also partnered with the University of California Agriculture and Natural Resources and the nonprofit the Vine Institute to conduct a feasibility study to build an agriculture technology center of excellence here in the city of Escondido to serve the local economy in the Southern California region. Now I will turn it over to my colleague Pedro to talk through City Council action items.
Thank you, Jennifer. Today I'll go over City Council action and public engagement. Since 2022, there have been several council and public meetings, and there are 3 to note. The first in January of 31st, 2024, where staff made a presentation to the full City Council for American Rescue Plan Act funding approval for a contract with the UCA&R system and the Vine Institute for a feasibility study to create an ag tech incubator. After that, in March 26th of 2025, staff presented to the City Council the findings of the Escondido AgX feasibility study, where we received direction from Council to move forward with implementation. And most recently, in June 18th of 2025, City Council approved the FY 2025-2026 operating budget, which includes $250,000 for AgX Innovation Hub professional services. Today for council consideration are 2 items, the first being a lease agreement between the City of Escondido and the Vine Institute at 455 North Quinn Street. The term of the lease is for 3 years with 3 extension options for a total potential term of 15 years. The total rent amount is $10 per year. This low lease rate reflects the Vine Institute's significant investment in renovating the currently vacant building, which is estimated to be about $1.3 million. There is an expected economic impact of the form of entrepreneur-supported, companies created, and jobs created. The Vine Institute, as the leaseholder, will serve as the lead operator for the Escondido AgX Innovation Hub, as outlined in the feasibility study presented to City Council in March 26, 2025. They will also manage all subleases, and they will be responsible for utilities, permits, and all site improvements. The second item for consideration is a public service agreement, also with the City of Escondido and the Vine Institute for $500,000 in startup funding for the creation and operation of the Escondido AgX Innovation Hub. The first portion, $250,000, is to be dispersed upon the execution of the lease agreement, where funding was approved for this lease for the public service agreement by Council in the 2025-2026 operating budget. The second portion, $250,000, is to be distributed after the Vine Institute presents its first annual report to the City Council and demonstrates substantial progress towards full operation. Now I'll hand it over to Lon Hatamia and Gabe Yahtzee.
Deputy Mayor and council members, good evening. I'm Lon Hatamia, president of the Vine Institute. Really a pleasure to see you again. I think we had the opportunity back in March to present our initial findings of the feasibility study, and I wanted to walk through that very quickly because it's an important component of our activation plan. The Vine Institute will implement the initial phase of the recommendations in our AgX feasibility study, including developing a regional food hub, working with community organizations, Community Kitchens Collaborative and Food Shed Cooperative, who are represented here tonight. I think you'll hear from them in a moment. Develop a business incubator for ag and food-related businesses. Third, create a consumer package laboratory and test kitchen. And fourth, support local agritourism. And lastly, build upon a Grown in San Diego brand. As Pedro has also shared with you, our focus is on job creation, but higher wage job creation and business development within the city of Escondido. And we really appreciate the support in this initiative, but that is our ultimate goal. Our activation plan also includes initial city startup funding, which was mentioned previously, and it will be utilized by the Vine Institute to develop an engineering and architectural design plans for interior improvements, including furnishings, equipment for the food hub, the Ag Tech Incubator, the CPG lab, the CPG test kitchen, office space, and common space. And also, we will hire in the first 12 months appropriate Vine Institute staff, which could include a general manager / executive director, to manage day-to-day operations and develop and implement longer-term sustainable financial modeling through recruitment of tenants, startup companies, and identification of grant funding and private sector investment. As a matter of fact, in terms of grant funding, we've already been in touch with the Jobs First initiative for San Diego and Imperial County, and we'll be pursuing funding for that. There will be a grant fund application due at the end of October, and it's our intent to pursue that funding initially to help us with this first phase. Let me turn it over now to my colleague, Gabe Yautzi, to discuss kind of the next phase of development.
Here, oh, turn it on. Hello, Deputy Mayor, City Council. Thank you very much for having us back. As was mentioned, Gabe Yautzi, I'm the Chief Innovation Officer for the University of California, Agricultural Natural Resources, but I'm also, in this capacity, a board member for the Vine Institute, so that is the connection there. And really, my vision here for this and the work that I do statewide is really to build the future of food and agriculture and to ensure we continue that long-standing economic sector that's been a vital part of America's food supply, actually, is California. And my goal is to continue that across our food-producing regions, including right here in Escondido, and build up also ag tech as a tradable sector. Which it really as a core economic strategy. And I view the work that we do here, and the reason I'm here and spending my time coming to be here is because I view this hub as the Southern California hub for the state for ag tech efforts and connect that with the rest of the state of California. So really, this is really the flagship headquarters for Southern California ag tech in my view. So in order to help really turn this awesome work into a reality, we got to, this is where the rubber meets the road, and we need to work across that 3-year timeline to have a project plan, have accountability, et cetera. So just to walk you through briefly the 3-year plan to move us from where we are today and the seed investment from the city and the lease into full operation. So the first year, we'll really focus on facility design and operational planning to make sure we can do the facility upgrades and enhancement that need to get done to a minimum viable level, and then even seek investment to get those to even higher with added tenant improvements and equipment, as well as the operations and get it operational, and start to develop partnerships with the state of California and investment from things like Jobs First, industry, and other places, and bring those diversified funding sources from federal, state, private sector, philanthropic investments into the project, and really begin out that phase 1 building and operations, which we're really raring and ready to go, and you'll hear from some of those partners that are ready to do that, and really importantly, to establish a governance process so we have strong oversight and accountability, which I'll talk about in a minute. Second year, to really just kind of start to scale and grow those things, grow the program, grow the partnerships, add more equipment, get to phase 2 build and operations, which are working to articulate now, and get to expanded revenue at a break-even point so that we can demonstrate the financial viability of the project as well. And then on to year 3, where we expect to be full operations, fully occupied, transition to long-term operations, whatever that looks like after year 3, and have full financial viability of the project. Really important piece of this is to have a strong governance and accountability process, and the Vine Institute will establish an advisory council of experts, local, statewide, business leaders, local, to really help guide development and implementation of the program, the operation of the building, financial oversight, et cetera. So that advisory council will certainly include the Vine Institute team in Lawn, myself at UCNR, and Jennifer in the City of Escondido representation team. Also other local and regional food, agriculture, technology leaders, perhaps educational leaders as well. Representation from academic, workforce development organizations that we're talking to as well, but have a strong governance process that has the right people to help make the project successful, bring funding, remove barriers, give good advice. And have quarterly reporting process that we'll set up with the City of Escondido, economic development team, as well as present annual presentations, of course, to our City Council here, but we're happy to come in any time and give a progress update on the project as well. Back to you.
Thank you, Long and Gabe. In addition to the city's lease and PSA with the Vine Institute, in partnership with the University of California, it is important to note that California State University San Marcos also supports the initiative. In their letter, they state, quote, CSUSM enthusiastically supports the city's vision for the AgTech incubator. We look forward to being an integral part of the endeavor, which stands to be transformational for our students, faculty, and the agriculture community, and ultimately the future of food. The San Diego Farm Bureau also supports the initiative, stating in their letter that they, quote, express our support for the AgX project in Escondido. San Diego agriculture requires farmers to take innovative approaches in order to stay in business, and the AgTech would assist growers with this. We strongly support this project and encourage you to as well. Staff's recommendation is to adopt resolution number 2025-43, authorizing the mayor to execute a lease agreement between the City of Escondido and the Vine Institute for the property located at 455 North Quint Street, and to adopt resolution number 2025-47, authorizing the mayor to execute a public service agreement with the Vine Institute for startup funding for the Escondido AgX Innovation Hub. This concludes staff's presentation. We're here to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you for the presentation. Do we have any public comments on this item?
Yes, we do. Our first speaker is Chuck Samuelson.
My name is Chuck Samuelson. I'm the founder of Heal the Earth, a local nonprofit, deputy mayor, council persons, and staff, and the guys over here doing this. I just want to commend this this entire project for the courage of the people involved to move this thing forward, for your vision for what this can be for Escondido and for Southern California, for California as a region. I think it brings together the most amazing potential partnership between city, private, academic and more than anything else, local ag and farmers who can really use your support in this, and this project will support them in a great many ways. So that's it. I just want to offer my support. I think it's a fantastic project. It's been years in working from everybody here, and the fact that it's now coming to fruition is amazing. So thank you for all your hard work on this, and keep it up. Thanks.
Our next speaker is Ellie.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ellie Igo. I'm the director of Foodshed Cooperative, which is the operator of San Diego Food Hub. You guys talked about what a regional food hub is, but for those who haven't heard that terminology before, it's a place where we aggregate produce and other foods from local farmers for the distribution to those folks that need it most across our communities. Foodshed's been in operation since 2020, and we have committed to being the anchor tenant at the AgX Innovation Center. Over the next year, Foodshed will invest over $500,000 in helping to develop this site, as well as a beginning farmer training center and incubator farm, one property over from the Escondido border, right in the San Pasqual Valley. So that'll be a place where we're training new and beginning farmers, and the Ag Innovation Center will be a place where they can move their food to the community, as well as access additional resources. We also have a $1.5 million grant pending to the California Department of Food and Agriculture to assist these guys in achieving the goal of building out the facility. So we're here as farmers, as community business folks, to co-invest with you all, and we really, really appreciate your vision and the opportunity to create a space for us to do this work. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Nan.
All right, good evening, Deputy Mayor Consuelo and council members. My name is Hernan Cavazos. I'm a farmer from this area. We have a farm just not too far away from here, a couple miles. We've been farming for the last 15 years at Solidarity Farm. Our farm is also a farm member, owner of Foodshed Co-op. We move our produce to there. And today I'm here to really encourage to move this forward. This is a great opportunity for us local farmers. As some of you already know, we're kind of like a dying breed. A lot of farms are disappearing over the last 10 years and the last 5 years. So this is a great opportunity for us to keep our business moving forward, keep growing amazing produce for a local community, for Escondido and San Diego County. And we believe this will bring people together, will bring farms together. We understood 5 to 10 years ago that the only way for us small-scale farmers to survive is to work together. So this is kind of one step to that. It gives us a place to socialize as farmers, create business as farmers, boost the local economy, and also to have a place where we can, we feel like we have a voice too, and we bring new people. That is the biggest challenge we also are having with newer people. Well, I don't know how many of you, but kids these days don't really say, hey, I want to be a farmer. So the Ag Innovation Center might be a place where younger people might be taking that leap of faith into this. So thank you for opening this space, and thank you, everybody, and I hope you guys support this project. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Adam.
How you guys doing? I'm Adam Pokonicki. I'm a partner at Mountain Meadow Mushroom Farm with Roberto and Olga Ramirez, longtime owners of Mountain Meadow. I am here in support of the AgX Innovation Center. I come here as a farmer and a member of Foodshed's collective. I also sat across the table from Chuck, about a year and a half, or a little over a year ago, when he told me about the innovation project, and I thought how wonderful it would be for many of these small farmers to have a place to congregate, but not only test value-added products in ways that they could like think about different ways to grow and make money. The one thing I want to point out that maybe people don't think about, but I think about a lot, is the impact one of the anchor tenants, Food Shed, is going to have at this innovation hub. It is a champion of so many small farmers in this area that are often struggling to find places to put their food. We often make less than 12 cents on a dollar for what we produce. The distribution chunk of the supply chain makes so much money, and what Food Shed has done to aggregate, coordinate, and move product and give us supply plans to build our business around has been a lifeline in a lot of ways for this community. And it's often fun to go meet all the other farmers in the collective and hear their stories and how much of an impact this makes. And I know that a lot of us are excited about the expansion of what Food Shed's doing, the investment. We think that they're doing the great work there, and we're excited about just being a participant. So if there's anything here I'd like to say is like, give them more money. So, thank you.
No further comments on this item.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So now I'll move to council discussion. We'll go ahead and start to my right. Councilmember Garcia, do you want to start?
Thank you so much for the presentation. Thank you everyone for the hard work that's been put into this. This is really exciting. I think the first time I heard about this was a little bit more than a year ago, maybe 2. It's been a while actually. And the more that I hear about it, the more excited I get. So I do appreciate it. Adam, correct? I think you had mentioned, the whole 12 cents to a dollar. I appreciate that very much. I worked on a farm in Costa Rica for about half a year, so I know that the work and the issues at this, so I think that's helped me relate a little bit more, and it's maybe why I'm a little bit more passionate about this. So this is a great opportunity. It's an opportunity for the city and for our partners to really spearhead a project that could be the future of food growth, not just in the city, but also in the region and maybe even the state. So I will support this. Thank you guys so much. It's just really exciting. Thank you again.
Go ahead.
Just a couple of things. I've been here as this has been going on, and some of the innovative ways of approaching this have been really fun to have groups of entrepreneurs and farmers come together and see the change in some of the farmers, and man, this is such a waste of time. And then after going through the process saying, this is one of the best things that I have ever done regarding farming. So having been there through that, it's awesome to see now we're getting to a point where we're beginning to see some resolution to this. I understand, and I'm really proud of that we are the second one in the entire state of California when it comes to being innovative and working on this. I remember if we were trying to figure out what we were going to call it, and we came with AgX, and for some reason I thought it was AgX was 10, Ag 10. Oh, wow, right? But we came up with AgX. But anyway, it's great. I'm really excited. Thank you so much, and I will support this.
Thank you. Again, we're all still very supportive, as we mentioned, or we were urging you to hurry up and get to work to get this going. We still feel the same way. So everything that was expressed, we are in agreement with you. I did want to point out something that the gentleman in the cowboy hat there said that I agreed with. Farming is a dying breed. I am reading about all the farms that are closing throughout California. And also in Escondido, I want to say, I believe I learned that just last month there were 2 farms that were at the brink of closing. And So again, I think this is important because farming was a big part of our identity, and we have to keep it here. And you know, just being a part of the food force is important. Also building the future farmers, because we're going to need farmers. We shouldn't have to be importing from other countries, is important. So I do like what you mentioned about, you know, it's going to be a higher wage job creator. I'm really looking forward to that. And I like the activation plan and with the timelines. So I really appreciated that. I did have a question, though, and let me just give you a little bit of information first. So in our high schools, there were ag programs. There was a big agriculture program at San Pasqual. There's currently a really good one at Escondido High School. On July 2nd, I read an article regarding the program at San Pasqual closing, and there was a student that was upset, and he said, "I'm not into sports, I'm into ag." You know, basically this is what he wanted for his future. I reached out to the superintendent, wondering why, because it is important, and apparently, as the gentleman that had also said, there is, just in some areas a low interest, but yet there are those that are very interested. So my question is, is there any room to have students at the high schools that don't offer it be a part of this program? Because the only way that they can be a part of the ag program, him particularly, would be to transfer to the other high school, which is not something that he would want to do. So maybe that's something that should be thought about, considered, is what I would like to put out there.
Councilmember, absolutely. We are in the process of enhancing the program development, and so we would consider most anything. I mean, I think you heard about farmer training that FoodShed is engaged in here. But more importantly, I want to highlight the comment I made about higher wage jobs. Agriculture doesn't necessarily have to be work in the field. It could be technology jobs that enhance the ability to produce better food for the future, or to diversify our food products that we have available to us in San Diego County. So that's one of the areas that we'll be focused on, is technologies that enhance those abilities. And those are some of the areas that we believe we can get high school students and college students excited about being engaged. And so that's why we believe that not only farm worker jobs, but technology jobs as it related to agriculture are extremely important. This center will be the Southern California hub for that development. And I'll let my colleague Gabe speak more to that, since he's engaged in that day to day, but that is certainly our goal.
Yeah, I have a specific example, and actually could probably follow up and provide an interesting opportunity here. So we put together a Jobs First grant application called California Ag Tech, and it has multiple regions of California. We put together a portion of it called, it was just a statewide network and set of projects. One of those things was a Farm Robotics Academy for high school students. I have a retired high school ag teacher on my staff, believe it or not, great guy, and we have built on a very successful Farm Robotics Challenge model that was for college kids, that we're actually now expanding into high schools. And what's going to happen there is high school teachers who come from a variety of backgrounds. They might be engineers, they might be scientists, they might be chemists, and we pull them together and teach them in a train-to-trainer model how to work with drones and small form robots that are actually really good for small farms or large farms, both. And then we have a curriculum that we're working with this grant to expand, and even to pay for equipment for the high schools. And so it's great for schools that either have or even don't have an ag program to work with and utilize an ag platform for this academy. And we have set aside budget for the Southern Border region, which this region is in, and we will work to see if we can actually get one of those pieces of equipment and faculty member at the high school to participate in that Farm Robotics Academy as part of this project. So that would be a very tangible thing we can do to actually help that specific school participate in an exciting sort of ag tech curriculum for the future.
No, that's really good. And then I think you should know that our high school district has an award-winning robotics team. So I think that is very fitting.
They'll probably win.
But this one gentleman, this one young man still wants to be a farmer. So, so thank you for that. So just being able to, I don't know how you may want to follow up on that, but that'd be greatly appreciated. So I do want to give out a shout out to this young man, Ryan Ross from San Pasqual High School, who reached out to the Times Advocate and brought this to the community's attention and my attention. Thank you.
Great. So thank you so much again for the presentation and to all that spoke in favor of this. I'm really excited about this. It has been a few years, and so it's been amazing to see what started as like the hackathons and the quarterly mixers. So I know there's been a lot of time and effort and people involved in this endeavor. I'm also grateful for the organizations that are part of this, so Food Shed, Heal the Earth, Mountain Meadow Farms, and so many others. I see the work that you do in our communities, and I think we have the right partnerships, the right organizations. So you did a great job in connecting with the right folks in our community, and whatever we can do to support, let us know. I enthusiastically support moving this forward. And I would say, I know that I'm not on the Economic Development Committee, subcommittee. There's only two council members that sit on that, but I would love to get more regular updates than once a year on this project. So maybe that's through the weekly city manager's report or through Visit Escondido, but this is something that I want to brag about for our city, and really I love the idea of connecting our young people, our high school students, whether it's internships, competitions, robotics competitions. There's just so much opportunity here. I'm excited for the shared learning of best practices, the sustainability and innovative thinking that will take place in this center. So really excited, and I will move to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Great. Let's go ahead and vote.
Voting is open.
Oh, it's logged out.
Oh, you guys got logged out. You know what, for the sake of time, let's just do a verbal vote if that's okay, just for the sake of time. Councilor Fitzgerald?
Yes. Yay.
Yes. Yay. Councilmember Joe Garcia?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Martinez?
Aye.
Councilmember Christian Garcia?
Yes.
Motion approved, 4-0.
All right, and now we're on item 15, future agenda items. Do any of my colleagues have any items they'd like to place on a future agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and move to council member subcommittee reports and other reports. Let's start with Councilmember Joe Garcia. I'm changing the orders on everyone.
All right, made a few notes here. Well, first of all, I'd like to take a moment to remind everyone today was the day that the Escondido Police Department has a remembrance of Officer Laura Perez, one of our officers that died here from the Escondido Police Department. This may be, I don't know, maybe 8 years now. So that was today, this morning, in front of the Escondido Police Department. So please remember Officer Laura Perez's family as they continue to deal, and her daughter above all, dealing with this tragedy that happened a number of years ago. I'd also like to report that I was on the NCTD board meeting on the 17th, in which Sandag came to make a presentation regarding the transportation plan here for San Diego County, and we were able to speak to see what our concerns were, what were the changes. Some of the issues that I brought up was something that I had been working on for a number of years as community members had been speaking to me regarding request for shaded bus stops here in Escondido. I wanted to know where we had received here in Escondido information from NCTD before I was on the board that they were working on that and would explain their timeline. So I reminded them where they were on the timeline, and we expected them to put those in place. Another one of the issues that was raised was the need for connectivity between the buses and one and the others, but also with the Sprinter and other modes of transportation in the entire county. One of the other issues that was brought up was safety on our platforms and riding on the buses and other forms of public transportation. We discussed that, and we're happy to get a report and how changes have been implemented, and the situation or the feelings from our riders are positive with the lighting that's been going on, the cleanup that's been going on, more presence of security on the platforms. So those were some of the things that were raised and that were talked to, and Sandag were very happy to hear as stakeholders what were important to us here in our area. That concludes my report.
Thank you for that thorough report. Councilmember Fitzgerald?
Yes, thank you. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and add on to piggyback a little bit more on Sandag. So I had a briefing today prior to the meeting that is going to take place on Friday. And the good news for Escondido is that Sandag is bringing money to North County and specifically to Escondido. So we're looking at the 78 to 15 freeway connector. They have approved, it's working out the details right now, a $40 to $50 million budget to design the freeway there on a way and how to improve that. So that's going to be a 2-year project after that. $100 million, maybe more, has been approved. So I know every single person here has been impacted by the 15 and 78. They are finally going to help us out, so that's something to look forward to. But these things do take time, so be patient. But the mayor is fighting for you, and I get to be a part of that. And so good things are going to be happening from Sandag. Let's see, last Friday, I went to a ribbon cutting. We have a new business. It is called Escondido Modern Dentistry. This is their second location. They have another location in Rancho Peñasquitos, and the good news is that people that went to this ribbon cutting actually live in Escondido and Valley Center, and they used to go see her in Rancho Peñasquitos. So now they're going to be coming here, and so our city's definitely going to benefit from that. They are located in the Lowe's parking lot, kind of close to the CarMax side of it, on the east side of Lowe's. Tuesday, I attended the 3rd annual You Can Stop Human Trafficking event. It was at One Safe Place. And again, human trafficking is not something that you see in the movies like Taken. It is familial. It is friends in high school. There's so many things that are undetected because of that, because people don't detect. So just the progress that's being made is phenomenal. This is the first year that the FBI is now engaged or involved in this. So again, I would recommend that you Google You Can Stop Human Trafficking, just some small things that you can do to be a part of this. And it was a spectacular event. Let's see, just a reminder, this Friday at the California Center for the Arts will be Música en la Plaza. It starts at 7 p.m. and it's going to be in the Lyric Courtyard that's adjacent to the concert hall. It's always a really good time. I believe some of my colleagues will be there. So please go out and enjoy the music and the arts. And thank you so much for being here and participating. And I appreciate everyone's comments today as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Garcia?
Thank you. So there was a chamber mixer yesterday. I think that was a great event. It's always good to have. It was the Young Professionals event, and it's always good to really have that unity of business owners in the area. I think it's really important that we not only show support in terms of just gathering together, but also we want to be a resource and reference to each other. I think that's really important. Something that I've been really passionate about is keeping things local. So when, you go to those events and you meet people that are barbers or mechanics or something, and you see posts or people ask you, hey, do you know where I can find a good barber or mechanic? It's a great way to reference somebody and really support your local business. So if you haven't gone to any of the chamber mixers, I encourage you to try them out, check it out, and be part of the community. There's a DBA mixer, speaking of which, tomorrow. So for those who are interested in going, I think that's going to be really interesting to see what the DBA is doing doing right now, but the event is tomorrow. There's a Clean Energy Alliance meeting that's going to be coming up next week. Clean Energy Alliance is, I think we're doing really good work on it. We're going to continue to do really good work. If you haven't checked out and I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now, there's different programs to save on the electricity, and I really, really encourage everybody to check out. There's the OHM program and the Peak Power Saver program. Check it out. Energy is expensive right now, so I really encourage you all to do that. And as always, thank you to my community for the privilege of serving you, and thank you for the comments today. I think a lot of us are on the same page. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So I attended on Friday the San Diego River Park Joint Powers Authority meeting. Usually those meetings go pretty, non-controversial, but we did have one controversial item on the agenda regarding City of San Diego owned land. It's actually protected open space, but it's allowed for light recreational use. So many of you that go to Del Mar may know that the surf soccer facility is actually in that open space, so I didn't realize that. And so there's been some issues there, and I would say that dominated about over an hour of the conversation, and we heard from a lot of residents. So that's going to be an ongoing discussion at our meetings, and the board directed our executive director to ensure that open space remains protected and that the current tenant does not violate the agreements of the term. And so the executive director of the JPA will be submitting a letter to the City of San Diego regarding that matter. One of the businesses that I visited recently, and I didn't get to share about it, but I'm very excited about it because it's a very unique business, and you usually don't find these kind of businesses in inland areas. It's usually in the coastal communities, is a refill zero waste store. So kind of back like in the old days when people used to bring their containers to stores and go, and buy in bulk and things like that. So we now have a vessel refill, and it's on Orange Avenue near Sunnyside Kitchen, and you can get soap, skincare, dish soap, laundry soap by bringing your own reusable container, and they also have containers there. So check out this really great business that also supports the environment. This week I had an opportunity to be interviewed with Urban Football San Diego. It's a local effort in our region that documents soccer in our community, and we were able to share the story of how our Escondido futsal court came to be. So I'm really excited for that to be airing soon. And we won't be meeting for a couple weeks. So I wanted to share that National Night Out will take place on Tuesday, August 5th, here at Grape Day Park. I'm glad they changed the venue to the park because it's a lot cooler. It's from 5 to 8 p.m., and this is a national event that happens in the U.S., and the point is to promote police-community partnerships, neighborhood community building, and community safety. So please come out and join us. It's a free event. It's a family-friendly event. Again, National Night Out on Tuesday, August 5th. I will see you there. That concludes my subcommittee report. Next, we'll go to the city manager's report.
Nothing to report.
Okay, thank you. So, City Clerk, do we have any oral communications?
None.
Okay, no communications. And then I will go ahead and then adjourn this meeting at 6:23. Thank you.